Hello all, welcome to online course on problem solving using C. In this we are going to discuss about the concept parameter passing in C. So let's see the foundation, that is function and their needs. So functions are the backbone of structured programming in C. They allow developers to divide complex programs into smaller logical units, making programs easier to write, debug and maintain. A function is essentially a self-contained block of code designed to perform a specific task. For example, calculating the sum of numbers, finding the maximum value, sorting elements in an array. However, the most real-world problems require functions to work with dynamic input values. This is where parameters, or we can call it as inputs, become essential. So why these parameters are important? They make functions flexible and reusable. The same function can work with different data. They help avoid duplication of data. So instead of writing multiple functions, suppose like sum 5 and 10 functions, we can write sum 20 and 30 function. So here we can reuse the function sum of a comma b. So the arguments values passed from column parameters variables that receive those values. So without parameter passing, functions would be static and limited, reducing their usefulness. The two core mechanisms of parameter passing. So C provides two fundamental ways to transfer data between functions. Understanding this mechanism is crucial because they are determined whether the original data changes, how memory is used, how efficient your program is. First, by passing value, by passing reference. So first one, pass by value. In this method, a copy of the variable's values is passed. The function works with this copy. The original variables remains unchanged. So in internal behavior, memory is allocated for the copy. Operations happen on the copy only. When coming to the second one, pass by reference, that is using pointers. We all know that pointer is a variable which is used to store the address of another variable. So in this method, the memory address of the variable is passed. The function directly accesses original data. The internal behavior of this thing is no copy is created. Function operates on the same memory location. So here we need to clarify one thing, that is C does not have any built-in pass by reference like some languages. Instead, it is uses pointers to simulate reference behavior. So why this matter means choosing the wrong method can lead to bugs which are nothing but errors. So because we unexpected changes or no changes. Next one, performance issue, that is unnecessary copying. So understanding this concept is essential for debugging and writing efficient programs. Pass by value, a copy for safety. So pass by value is the default mechanism in C. When a variable is passed, a separate copy is created. The function operates only on this copy. So the step-by-step working procedure is the caller sends value, function creates a new variable, copy is stored in a different memory location, any changes remain local. So these are having some advantages. So it protects original data. It is easy to understand. No side effects. Safe for beginners. So as well as it is also having some disadvantages. So the extra memory usage is the main disadvantage. and it's insufficient for large data like structure. So in a real world analogy, we can say that. So it gives you a photocopy of a document. So they can edit it. Your original remains unchanged. So when to use this pass by value or a copy for safety. When the data shouldn't be modified, when working with small variables like int, char and float. So here we are having some key insights, that is pass by value ensures data integrity and isolation. And the next one, pass by value action example. So let's analyze the example deeply. So the void increment int x. So what happens internally? Num equals to 5 is passed. So a new variable x is created. X stores value 5. So inside the function x equals to x plus 1. So now the x becomes 6, but outside the function num remains 5. So the memory perspective, variable num 1000 means 5, x memory location 2000, value 6. So they are completely separate values. So here we have to observe function cannot affect original variable. Changes are temporarily done, save for calculations. So this pass by value creates a clear boundary between function and caller. Next one, pass by reference, modifying the original. Pass by reference allows functions to directly modify original variables. Since C doesn't support it natively, we use pointers. Here we have key operators, and that is address of operator, hashtag dereference operator. So the step-by-step process for pass by reference. Caller sends address, function receives pointers, dereferencing. Why it works? Function accesses same memory location, no copy is created. For this, we'll have some advantages. First, it can modify original values. Efficient, which means no copying. Third one, useful for large data. Here also some have risk. Pointer misuse can cause crashes. Harder to debug, requires careful handling. The insights of this thing is pointers have direct control over memory, making them powerful but dangerous. Now see the example of pass by reference. So this example shows why pass by reference is necessary. So without pointers, that means only copies are swapped, original variables remains unchanged. With pointers, that is int temp equals to hashtag k equals to hashtag b equals to temp. Step by step execution. Initial x equals to 10, y equals to 20. Inside function temp equals to 20, x becomes 20, y becomes 10. So in the memory view, variable x address 1000, value 20, variable y address 2000, value 10. Why this works? Because address A directly refers to x, address B directly refers to y. So dereferencing allows you to manipulate actual data stored in memory. So pass by reference is essential for operators like swapping values, modifying arrays, and updating variables. Next, side-by-side comparison. This comparison helps you decide the right method. So deep comparison, pass by value, which means it creates duplicate, no external impact, more memory usage, easier to debug. When pass by reference uses original memory, changes reflect globally, more efficient, requires pointer knowledge. In a real world analogy, we can say method value means analogy photocopy, method reference means analogy original document. So use pass by value when data should remain unchanged, working with simple values. Use pass by reference when need to modify original data, working with large data structures. So choosing correctly improves both performance and reliability. Arrays. A special case in C. Arrays behave differently from normal variables. So when you pass an array, it automatically becomes a pointer to its first element. So suppose actually if you are taken modify of nums, internally it behaves like modify of ampersand nums of 0. So here we are having some implications. Functions can modify original array. No copying occurs. Array of 0 equals to some number means this directly changes the original array. So why C does this means efficient. No copying large arrays saves memory. In this also we have a risk, that is unintentional modification of original data. So use const if you don't want modification. Arrays are always passed by reference even if doesn't look like it. The last we are having the key takeaways and best practices. First one, prefer pass by value for safety, which prevents accidental changes, easier to debug, ideal for small data types. Next, use pointers for efficiency, which means necessary when modifying data, reduce memory overhead, important for structures and arrays. Third, handle arrays carefully. Always assume they can be modified. Use safeguards like const. Last, validate pointers before using if pointer not equal to null. So we need to avoid some common errors, that is dereferencing null pointers, forgetting and when passing address, misusing pointer syntax. Finally, I want to conclude that parameter passing directly impacts program correctness, memory usage, performance. So mastering this concept is crucial for writing efficient C programs, avoiding bugs, understanding advanced topic like data structures. Thank you.